Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do that do for you. I got a nice lesson for you today. I got I got this book thing going. You know, sent me back to my teaching lessons from what I used to do, and it's feeling good. I'm getting comfortable, so I'm not gonna watch the clock. I'm not gonna talk fast. I'm not gonna be in a hurry. I'm gonna get the lesson and hope you understand it and appreciate it. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. That message and story for life. I give life lessons. The numbers say you tune in and appreciate them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and yeah, that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life, and it is a way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my goal, to get all right thinkers to do just that. That's why I'm here every day doing what I do for you, giving you lessons that you can use to know thyself. That's my mission. Let's go. And I'm on it. Know thyself is the question I ask. The answer you should know for yourself. If not, I know it's okay. I'm here to help you with that. Tune in, I can help you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them, don't be them. I know anybody tuning to me, that don't apply to you. So, a person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. I teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, is asleep spiritually. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. I can wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I'm going to do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know that self. It's in my eye. Be true. Today we're going. I'm still in the book. I'm having fun with this book thing. It's a whole lot of lessons in here that I can give on a day-to-day basis, and I appreciate it. Today we're gonna deal with a little person called Ammit. Ammit. You see that animal right there? That's the devourer. Okay, the heart devourer. And this is the whole of Maya, Judgment Day, they call it. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. I'm gonna break that down for you. This is one of my favorite lessons, so I'm gonna have fun with this. So strap in your seatbelt, get your popcorn. Teach about to teach. Let's go. School about to begin. This is about Amen. In the scene in the chapter from 33 in the Papyrus of Ani, the judgment scene from the Pert M. Harut, aka Book of Coming Forth by Day, is showing the god Tahuti and the goddess Amet. She sits right there. She's Let me go through that. Amet is important goddess. How about that? And she's a goddess, female, of the Per M. Haru, textbook, excuse me. Now, Amet means great death. She is a composite beast combining one-third hippopotamus, one-third lion, and one-third crocodile. The face is the crocodile, the chest is the lion, and the hind parts is the hippopotamus. She got real short legs and a real big body and a crocodile mouth. So the three animals that they feared the most in Egypt was your worst nightmare, that your heart, she will eat your heart if it don't weigh out on the scales of my yacht. Sound a little like heaven and hell? Okay, let's go. This was their concept. We didn't do heaven and hell. Okay, so she is the symbolic devourer of what? Listen, the unrighteous souls. That meant you had to go through life doing what you to do, living Maya or living on your terms. If you were ego driven, you edged God out. That meant you living freestyle, doing your own thing. And your soul will be judged at judgment day. And if it's found unrighteous, Amen, get to have her way with your heart. Okay? So the judgment scene above shows how a person's own actions are judged and how this leads a person to what? Their own fate. I tell people, You know, judgment day, who judging you? Yeah, God, God. A little bit right, a little bit wrong. You just don't know you are God, obviously, so you never got to that level, so you didn't get enlightened, so you don't know yourself. You are the one who's going to judge you. Okay, who know you better than you? So who better to judge you than you? You don't understand that concept? Well, you don't stand in front of a judge. No, no, no. That's just a symbolic, serious scenario to show you how court go. But in the halls of Mayat, you got your judges who are aspects of your character, parts of you who know just what you do when you do it. They represent the heart. Let's go. That's the difference. You can trick us. You can fool us. You can't fool all seeing eye. I rock the eye because the eye is quintessential, is knowing that I know God knows and sees all, at least in me. This is why I got to acquiesce to my higher self, not to man. That's why, conceptually. So let's go. You are the person you control your own fate. Now, either to move on and discover the divine and become what? One with the divine. That's knowing you and God are one. When you go to judgment day, you pass the test because you lived Maya, practiced Maya, did the right thing, lived virtuous, and you went on in spirit with God. Become one with your higher self in spirit. And that's the afterlife. You need to make that happen in this life for it to happen in the afterlife. You don't get it then. You got to make it happen here. That's the difference in living Maya and living egoistic. Okay? So watch this. You either go become one with the divine or you suffer due to negative actions of what? Your past, aka is called or known as eat one's own heart. You're responsible for what you do. Watch this. Or, better name, reincarnate. You're going to have to come back again. Why? Because your heart, your conscience in this life got eaten by a man. So the spirit got to go get reincarnated to another body and try again. Okay? So the idea of dying twice. The physical body will die, yeah, and then the spirit will get judged. And your heart is the contents of all your actions in your life. And if it's heavier than the feather in my eye, because you didn't live right, your heart will be eaten by Ammit, hence great death or dying twice. They had all this figured out. And they lived by it for over 3,000 years. So it worked. So watch this. Because you didn't become reincarnated. Now, above you see Tahuti, he's the scribe. He records everything. Okay. Yeah. He keeps records. He is your memory. He's your mind. He is the one that does the reasoning, the thinking for you. If you don't use him, you don't master how to think right, you're never going to make it to the next level. You never reach spiritual enlightenment. It needs not. You need to have knowledge and be able to acquire knowledge. Moving on. Watch this. Now above, you see Tahuti recording the results. While what? I met the monster, the devourer of the unrest, awaits the answer. If that's scale tip, oh yeah, eating time. So, and that was her job. The papyrus of Ani dates back to the 18th dynasty of the dynastic period in ancient Egypt, around 1800 to 1500 BCE, before the Common Era. Time went backwards. Did you know that? We started 10,000 and worked our way down to zero. Now we're working on the 2,000. So you're looking at a 12,000 year time period that we've been keeping track. Egyptians were the library in stone because they put everything in stone so you can go back there and see for yourself. Thousands of years later, it's still there. Moving on. It denotes, watch this, a philosophy related to the Assyrian resurrection theology. That's the study of Asar, Aset, and Harut. That has been what? It traced back to the pre-dynastic age in which constitutes one of the central teachings of ancient Egyptian religion. I told you they got three different concepts. Watch this. But the Maya principle, the following detailed description of the ancient Egyptian judgment scene provides a deeper insight into the workings of the commission system of IRE, meaning your actions going to dictate cause and effect. You reap what you sow. This was an ancient time concept. Let's move on. This is now we're going on to the judgment of what? Your soul. I just showed you this right here with it's like a courtroom. But all those people up there, the deciders, those are aspects of your character, and every aspect of your character will have to speak for you. And they'll know when you say, I have not done so and so, they'll know and they get the not of approval, okay, you pass. But when they say you have a problem. So watch this. Now, where's that? Okay, here you go. We're gonna go with the scene. Now you got Ani and his wife enter into the judgment hall of Maya. Okay, at the left, they go from left to right. You see them coming in. The first person you see is Miss Connect, which is the birthing brick lady right there, and she represents your destiny. Okay, they're gonna take you through them each one. That's Commissioner Connect. Then you got Renette, the two twins. Then you got the Ba. Now the Ba is the falcon head or eagle headed, hawk headed human, the body of the bird, but the head should be yours. Why? Because if you get wakened, you get enlightened, you reach Nihas, your head become conscious with your body. You know who you are. So at the time of death, when the body takes off and your head on it, you going in to the next level, knowing thyself. That's why the art of knowing thyself in this realm is so important. Why? Because you're going to need to be conscious of yourself to make it to the next realm. Other than that, you won't get there. Righteous living, virtuous lifestyle, they had that already laid out for you. So watch this. Now the hawk-headed person is your bar. If that bar don't have your head on it, you ain't going nowhere. Then you got Shy, the guy standing right there next to the scales. Then you got Miss Connect again, this time as what? The birthing brick above Shy's head. Then you got Ampu, who's watching. His job is to make sure you get a fair shake. He's the right and wrong man. His job is to make sure you get a fair shake. Tahuti, keeping records. He's one that's going to document everything and let you know if you pass or fail. And if you fail, Ammit, get to have her way. So that's the group. That's the crew. Now the text, Ani addresses, first they addresses what? His heart. At the top, the gods and the goddesses presiding are the right and left. You got Ra, Atum, Shu, Tufnu, Gab, Nut, Neptet, and Aset, Haru, Het Haru, Sa, and Hu. Now Sa is all understanding, and Hu is tasting, one of the five senses. Okay? Far left, you got Ani who enters the hall of judgment. His heart, conscious. Now the heart is spelled, the conscious for the heart is spelled Conscience, means science. It's been proven. It's a science to your heart, knowing that that's where God dwells. It's been proven. Watch this. And the conscious, your heart conscious is being what? Weighed by Anubis, Anpu, while what? The divine principle, Sa, which is Renet and Mishkanet, look on. Why? Because these are all representing you. Okay, aspects of yourself. They look on. Now, Ani, your soul, and his destiny, which is Renet, they twins. Okay. Also look on Wanu. Wahoo. Anubis measures Ani's heart, his unconscious mind containing the impressions or residues of his life lived. That's in the ab, that's in the vessel. It's like a vessel. It holds all the contents of your heart conceptually. That's the idea. And what it does is this is measured against what? The feather of Maya. In essence, what? The principles, the 42 principles and precepts of Maya. Truth, righteousness, and everything that's divine. If you lived according to Maya, which I master, which I do, what I teach, right thing philosophy, that's what it's patterned after. This is what you're getting prepared for Judgment Day, to have your heart pure and light as a feather. You do that by what? Learning thyself, living right. And at the far right, you got Tahuti. Watch this. He records the results while Ammit, the monster, the devourer of the unjust. You don't go no further. Buck stops right there. Ain't no living eternity in fire, hell, and damnation. No, that's no, don't worry about that. Your heart will be devoured and you no longer exist. Why? Because your conscience is in the heart. Your brain, after death, they throw it away. Don't even use it. They keep the heart in the body, be judged. That's why. So the brain is only good when you're alive. You got to make connection with your heart. Hence, I tell you about the heart mind coherence. They need to work as one. Why? Because you can benefit from that. And in the afterlife, your heart will take over and get you where you need to go to the next level. Now, at the far right, Tahuti records the results. Watch this. Well, Ammit, okay, now, the hands of Tahuti, God of reasoning, again, are Shah, which means destiny, and Renite, which means fortune and harvest. Is two twins. One is fortune, one is harvest. And Shah is your destiny, your end result, where you're going to go. Watch this. He's standing in. That's the cop. He stands in as a physical body. Watch this. Now, the implication is that we what? We reap. You harvest the results of what? Our state of mind, aka heart. Again, the heart mind. Get it? Hope you understand that. Now, our state of mind, including our subconscious feelings and desires, is what? Weighed against the cosmic order, aka Maya. How'd you live? I have not done these things. The 42 confessions, that's what they represent. Not the 10 commandments saying you should not. You speaking for yourself when you say, I have not, the singular, me. If found to be what? At peace, which Hotep, H-E-T-E-P, some people spell it with the O, but some people take the E out and just put H-T-P. That's Hotep. Put it backward, it means put up. Another little game, I'll tell you about that later. Okay, but let's go. But now, if you found to be at peace, your heart is at peace through what? And therefore, in accord with the cosmic order, Maya, it will be what? Allowed to join the cosmic Asar. When that happens, otherwise it will what? Suffer the fate as dictated by what? Its own contents. You are your worst enemy if you don't know yourself, if you are egoistical, or if you are selfish, greedy, all those qualities, your heart will be heavy and you won't pass the judgment day. So you will be doomed by your own makers. Watch this. Your mental state of unrest due to what? Lingering desires, which will lead to what? Ammit, who will devour the ego personality. It will be scratched from the existence, from the records. Your ego will be devoured if it don't raise its consciousness and become Haru. If it stays set, you're done. Moving on. That's the concept. Watch this. Which that soul will experience, here you go, torments from demons. Why? Until it learns what? Its lesson through the process of what? Trial and error. Meaning the reincarnated spirit got to come back again and have it done again because the one body it was in didn't do its job. So trial and error. It don't have no say so in the matter. It just waits until you activate them. Okay? Watch this. And then pursue what? An authentic process of mystical practice, learning, right thinking philosophy, to become what? Strong enough through what? Wisdom to know yourself and become what? Spiritually enlightened. That's the goal of all right thinkers. That's my purpose, to get you at that point. Why? I'm there. I've been there. I know how to get there. That's my goal. Demons may be what? Understood as what? Negative cosmic error. Energy, excuse me. Negative cosmic energies which the personality what? Has allowed itself to indulge in the form of mental anguish and torments people put themselves through. Again, fetters. You do to you your worst enemy, because everything pretty much happens to you is because of you, good or bad. Simple. Understand that. Due to what? To their own ignorance of who? Your higher self. If Set is running the show, he don't know Haru. He's going to fight Haru tooth and nail. That's the ongoing battle. Good and evil. Watch this. But self-torment may be regret over some action or inaction while when alive, or a reluctance to what? Leave the physical realm. Why? Because of lingering desires to experience more earthly pleasures. Right there. The ego don't want to leave. The ego don't know nothing else. All it knows is this: it don't want to. It's gonna fight. It's gonna fight tooth and nail. Why? It don't want to die. I got a phrase later on to tell you about that. If you're scared to die, you don't live my ass. It's a little tidbit. Watch this. But that's what happens to people the last days struggling. They want to make the deathbed confessions. They want to become all too late, my man. All that's for naught. Why? Because there's all the consciousness in your heart. So when it's all over, just go on and rest, go on easy, and take your medicine. Moving on. This is also termed what? Eating one's own heart. You did it yourself. Fetters. You eat your own heart by doing all your injustice to people thinking you can get away with that. Those kind of people, that's when they get theirs. So you got to remember, karma will take care of them. Okay? We might not be able to get them. Justice might not be able to get them. Karma don't miss. Okay? So understand that. And then it says, see the 42 precepts of Maya. I'm going to do Maya for you again. I got them on the wall. But that's another lesson, whole lesson. But that's the concept. If you live Maya, you won't die. Therefore, watch this. If you are your own worst enemy by eating your heart by the things you did to yourself, therefore, one what? Controls one's own fate according to one's own level of what? Wisdom and knowledge of reason and the capacity. Oh, the level of reasoning or wisdom or reasoning capacity. How good were you when you had to do what you needed to do? Was your reasoning on point, or were you making a bunch of excuses to do you? Moving on. The scene goes this way. This scene is actually a pictorial, iconographical representation of what? The philosophy of Ari, or karma, and Ak, or reincarnation. This is the concept that they live by. You didn't want to see Ammit. So what you do? Live Maya. Simple. The ancient Egyptian, myth known as the story of Say Asar. This is a good story. Succulently and powerfully illustrates what? The concept of Ari, action, and karma. Break it down. It describes the fate and the soul after death. Nobody know what happened when you die. Everybody come back and tell us nothing. This is all just like nobody know nothing, but you got theories, the mythology, and allegory to help you understand it. This is no different. Moving on. Where we at? It describes the fate and the soul after death in accordance with what? The actions of the person while alive on earth. They're showing you if you do this, this is the possibility. Either this way or that way. Don't make a difference. But it's up to you. So watch this. So Asar means son of Asar. That would be Haru, the spirit that's in you. We are all children of God, sons of Asar, spiritually. Calm down. Relax. Don't get like crazy. Yeah, I get excited. Sorry. But he was a child, son. He was a child. He was a child, God's son. Asar, an aspect of Haru, again, who brought essentially spiritual teaching to what? The world. He gave us understanding and enlightenment to know ourselves so we can make it to the next level. Watch this. Here we go. Nice story. A man and a woman wanted to have a child. And back then, but they could not conceive. So what the woman do? Her name was Mi Hushsikhi, went to the temple to sleep there in hope that a god or goddess would come to her and tell her what to do. Whenever they look for God, they always look for God and the goddess, never one singular. They understood that you got a male and a female God aspect. Let's go. And the spirit came to her in a dream, like they always do, and told her to go to the place where your husband was and to eat from a melon vine and embrace. You know, watermelon seeds is potency for the men. We spit them out. They knew to swallow them. Why? Because they had some powers in them. And embrace your husband in love after eat the watermelon. And that would then conceive, you would then conceive a child. She became pregnant, and her husband, Setna, was very happy. They both enjoyed it. In a dream, the spirit came to Setna now and told him, sound familiar? What's this? The child would be a boy, and he would be named Sa Asar. Let's see, Say Asar, S-A-A-S-A-R, Say Asar, son of Asar, and sound like Emmanuel. I heard that story somewhere. Watch this. and that he would do great wonders in the land of Egypt. We in Egypt now. This ain't Jerusalem, Israel. This is Egypt. When the child was born, Satan named him, say Asar, and he grew up and was always mature for his years. When Seasar was a boy of 10, the age of 10, he was already respected, watch this, as an enlightened sage. I'm 65 years old, still working on that. So much respect to this young man, reaching sagehood at 10. All right. But one day, he and his father were looking at two funerals. Life lessons. This is a good one. One funeral was for the rich man, who had many mourners, attendants, offerings to the gods and goddesses. Everything was laid out. Oh, it was beautiful. For the poor man, who had no one to mourn for him, no offerings for the god and goddesses for him to be pleased in his tomb, to be placed in his tomb, the father exclaimed, when my time comes, my son, I want my funeral to be like the rich man. Son looked at his father and said, oh, no, Dad. I hope you die like the poor man. Son looked, whoa, at son with surprise. Dude. Then Caesar asked, would you like me to show you the fate of these two souls? Now he was wise been his years. He gonna educate his father now. Watch this. So he says, so he leads his father to the netherworld. And that the devil took Jesus to hell and showed him how, okay, so this is just a concept. He took him to another world. And his father saw, watch this, that the rich man was judged by the gods and goddesses and was found to be what? Yeah, unrighteous. Because you're rich, because you don't get you into heaven, watch this, he was found unrighteous. And having committed, why? Because he committed more evil deeds than what? Virtuous deeds. It balanced out. I can tell you, even a bad person get blessed for doing something good, but he do so much bad, it's going to supersede the good. You want to eradicate the bad by what? Doing more good. That's the concept they're telling you right here. Now, the virtuous deeds, so his fate was what? To suffer. We suffer because we're ignorant of who we are. Not knowing yourself, you will suffer. Not knowing God, you're going to suffer. Watch this. The poor man had led what? A virtuous life. So all of the offerings of what? The rich man were accrued to the poor man. See? They said, he who was last should be first. Get the concept? And watch this. The poor man was led into the presence of Asar, aka the Supreme Self, who was seated on his throne, glad to see him, welcome him in with the goddess Aset and Netet behind him, and the gods and goddesses at his side. Satan saw the evil rich man suffering, aka catching hell. I was a rich man. I deserve better. Really? Really? It don't work that way spiritually. So let's go. Others were what? Reaching up to grasp. Now, the boat that Asar goes through the underworld in, for the daytime, he's cool. He's just chilling. But when he go in the underworld, he got to fight and deal with the prophets. So he got to call in his boys. You hear any noises? Me and the boys. Why? I need some help dealing with this guy. It's going to be a rough, long night. So he has this thing that he had to do. And the boat had ropes on the side. For those who start in purgatory in between the judgment day, that instant death, and they don't even know where they're going, they can reach up and grab on the rope, swing down, sweet chariot, stop, and let me ride. Yeah, if you can grab the rope, it's usually out of their reach. For those who catch the sufferers, they never get the rope. Okay, that's the concept of hell. So that's suffering. Watch this. Now, others who were reaching up to grasp at food, and that was dangling over them by what? A rope, while under them certain gods and goddesses were what? Digging a pit so that they could not what? Reach high enough. Still, others were twining ropes, while at the other end of the rope there were what? Donkeys eating the rope. So you're gonna have a problem anywhere you go in that predicament. My old man had a phrase, you don't know where the shit to go blind. When that predicament, yeah, that's where you at. Okay, it's not a good place to be. Tell me, say Asar, setting the ass in amazement, What is the meaning of these things I see? What happens to the people as they are judged? Sayasar answered, those who are twining are the people who on earth labor every day, but the labors are what? Fruitless. There was juices that on the hamster wheel going around. So the labors are fruitless for themselves, but because they do not perform the right action, and the fruits of their actions benefit others, aka slaves. They was doing work and somebody else is prospering off of their hard labor. Sounds familiar? Okay. Those who are reaching up to their food for their food in vain. Why? Are those who in life, watch this, on earth, their life before them, but do not make use of it, so they admit to suffer. Those who are found to have more misdeeds than good deeds. I tell you, God recognized deeds. Quick lesson. I keep explaining to you about karma. Karma is the results of your actions. So if your actions you put out is good, your karma is going to be what? A blessing. If your action you put out is bad, guess what's going to happen? A misdeed, a bad deed, you're going to suffer. That's how it goes. It ain't no in between. It ain't no this or that. Simple as that. Understand it, and you got to be responsible. I want young people to understand they're responsible for what they do. Even at 7, 8, 9 years old, you're responsible for them actions. Why? Because you know better. We start teaching you right from wrong at an early age. So when you get there, you start doing what you know to be right, and you will be rewarded, and you continue to do that. Every time they do what's wrong, if you don't punish them, they will continue to do wrong acts. Why? They didn't pay for the transgressions. God makes you pay. Simple as that. If he make you pay as a parent, I'm going to make you pay. Simple as that. Moving on. So watch this. Now say I saw led his father to the nether world. Okay, where we at? Okay. Oh, I'm over here. Sorry about that. And the good deeds. When you have done good deeds, watch this, are made to you do bad deeds, more bad deeds than good deeds, you're made to suffer. Now watch this. Those who have an equal amount of misdeeds, watch this. You balance it out. You didn't make it, but you ain't failed either. Watch this. And good deeds are sent to be what? Service of so-called asar, which means asar in the afterworld. You become a servant. Mm-hmm. For the rest of your days, you'll be a servant. If you didn't get enlightened, you didn't, but you will be a servant in the afterlife for eternity. That's the concept. Watch this. Now, those who are found to have more virtuous deeds, here we go, right? Thinkers, this is where you want to be. Those who have found more virtuous deeds than misdeeds are what? Allowed to be among the gods and goddesses as one of them and their ba. Remember, your ba is the hawk, the falcon. When it goes home, back they say he fly right to the sun like he going to God. If that got your head on it, you're going home conceptually. See? That works perfect. And what? You flies up to be among the glorified spirits. This is why the spirit got wings. Red Bull gives you wings. You want wings. What? You want to fly. Moving on. I'm not even watching the clock. Moving on. To sophistication, the sophisticated nature of the Commission understanding and expressions of the philosophy of WRIGHT karma incorporates the intermeshing of what? The myth, the story, the allegorical, the myth, they all come together to put together a beautiful picture if you pay attention and understand. Watch this. Because the iconograph and the philosophy related to the divinities and their interaction, these yield a powerful mystical system which became the basis of Commission culture that survived over 3,000 years of civilization of peace and harmony. This myth also allows us to what? Understand that the higher inner philosophy about offerings and externalities, what's related to the burial are not important. We used to bury people with all their goods. The people in the graveyard, the grave diggers, love that. Why? They get rich. What is important? What's this? It ain't the burial that's important. Make a big fuss about burial. No. What is important is to what? Cleanse the heart through what? Righteous, virtuous actions and virtuous living, so as to what? Experience the fate of enlightenment and not suffer through ignorance. If you're ignorant, you're going to suffer. If you're enlightened, that's the name of the game. That's my point. As right thinkers, you want to be enlightened to self. Moving on. We're moving on to what they call the blind Mayat offering by King Seti, the Waset and Thieves. You see a Mayat sitting there with the ankh on her knee, but she got her eyes blindfolded. They say justice should be blind. Watch this. Conceptually, but watch this. The blind Mayat is a special form of the goddess Mayat. The offering of blind Mayat is extremely important ritual. Why? Because it's displayed in the papyrus and carved in the temples because it symbolizes the legitimacy of what? The ruler to aspire to divine consciousness, know oneself. Mayat is the prerequisite to all spiritual evolution. Without righteousness in life, no order, no peace can be possible. The first responsibility of the king, in essence, anyone who aspires to become one with the gods, know thyself, goddess, is to what? Uphold Maya. Objectively, without egoistic bias, in essence, blind to yourself. Don't give in to the ego self. Why? It's not good. Therefore, you got two roads to travel by humankind. Those who those who seek to live what? Maya, right thinking philosophers. And you got those who seek to satisfy their animal passions. Christians, Muslims, Jews, most religious followers, they get caught up with their ego self, so they serve themselves. But some of them still lie in the name of the Lord. They perpetrate being a reverend, being God-fearing the whole time, sneaking, deceitful. This is why karma is built in to take care of them people. Okay, wrap it up. You got a summary of what? Summary of the philosophy of what I read. Karma, action. In ancient Egypt, based on what? The Kemetic test. Watch this. You had the I. Action. I means action. To do something. Things done. You put action, cause and effect. If you do this, it's going to cause something to happen. If you do what's good, you're going to cause to get a blessing. You do some sneaking deceitful, you causing yourself to be dealt with. Okay? Understand that. Karma is the results of your action when it's bad. How about that? There's no good karma. No. Good karma is blessing. I can explain that to you. So let's move on right quick. I'm about to wrap it up. I appreciate you. Arat Mayat. A-R-I. Arat with a T. That's female. Remember, the T on anything pretty much is feminine. Okay? So you got Arat Mayat. Work rightly. Lead a life of what? Integrity. That's the word I haven't heard in a long time. Don't we use integrity? That's intestinal fortitude. That's from within. Integrity. In accordance with what? Mayatian principles. Live by the 42 precepts of Maya. I learned them. I mastered them. It's a beautiful way to live. Why? Because you're comfortable in who you are. You know yourself. I'm comfortable. I know who I am. Then you got Ari M. Hotep. Hotep is peace. Work contentedly with what? Peace and contentment. If you had a job that you don't like, you can't work contentedly and you won't be working with peace and contentment. Find a job you love, you won't have to work a day in your life. I'm learning that from teaching my right thing philosophy. If this is my job, I ain't got to worry about this. Why? I love my job. So that's the difference. And without egoistic desires or expectations. That ego ain't a good thing. Gibson told you about that. They gave you a God to represent him. They keep cramming it down your face, and more people would rather be Set than Haru. So it's a choice. Some of us just like bad, evil. So the next one is you got Mayat Ab. That means pure heart. Thus attain purity of heart. I know that. Well, I know the Ab is the heart. I know Mayat represents purity. So Mayat Ab, figure that one out. Okay. Thus attain purity of heart. Then you got my favorite, Makadu. Become what? True of speech. You can't be true of speech when you lie to yourself. That don't work. Why? Because you're speaking from the heart. The truth comes here. And if you are a liar, you can't speak Makadu. I do. Do you? Spiritually enlightened beings speak Makadu. If you're spiritually enlightened, welcome to the club. But that's how you do it. Why? I'm a truth teller. I'm speaking from the heart. I'm transparent. I don't lie to save nobody's feelings, to spare you. I don't care about that. I care about telling the truth. And that's what I do for you. Last one, I'm wrapping it up. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Took a little minute. But boy, I hope this information was good for you. I don't take a little bit and stretch it. I stretch it and try to condense it so you can get it and understand it so you can use it. This is useful information. Wrapping it up. Then you got Arit, Haru. Receive the I of Haru. Perfected action. Doing the right thing for the right reasons all the time. You hold yourself accountable to do that. That's perfection. When you do what you want to do because how you feel or what you think, that's not perfection. Why? You're going to do what you want. I do what's right. That's perfection spiritually. Moving on. Let me end this up right quick. Perfected action when you become Haru. Watch this. You hear this word? The Eucharist? That's becoming one with Christ, God. Same thing. That's right there. We know about that. Okay? The act of what? Becoming one with the divine. I'm dropping the pin on that one. The highest action you can achieve, becoming Haru. I want you to be that. All right, thinkers. Your job is to become Haru. I help you with that. That's why I do what I do to help you become Haru. Appreciate you. I'll be back.